One teenage boy.
Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is 5 minutes or less review. Basically I'm just going to be looking at this story about Kalecia Williams. She was murdered I think on the 26th of December of 2020, and it really touched my soul because it's part of the things that I've been talking about, the rotting of our society. And it's not as if I'm trying to go all the way back to this, but these are some of the things that are actually happening, and I'm going to, in the course of on this channel, basically I'm going to be focusing a little bit more on things like this. So this is a story about Kalecia Williams, who was killed in a hotel, but I'm not going to say much. I'm just going to let the news take it from here. Alright guys.
Boy in the shooting death of 16-year-old Kalecia Williams. It happened at the Hyatt Regency a month ago today.
But during a protest today, her family says they are slowly piecing together information themselves that leads them to believe more people should be held accountable for her death.
News Edge reporter Alex Whitler explains.
It's been 1 month since Kalecia Pinky Williams was shot to death here at the Hyatt Regency in Atlanta. Her family says they won't stop protesting her death until they feel as though she's received justice.
No justice, no peace.
For hours Tuesday, 24 friends and family members of 16-year-old Kalecia Williams shouted her name from the Hyatt Regency, where she was last seen alive.
A lot of foul play, and I'm just trying to put all the pieces together because I don't feel like the system is doing enough work to help me.
December 26th, 2020.
Alright, so you guys basically heard what she's saying. Basically she's asking for justice, and if there's no justice, then there won't be any peace. I can actually applaud the family for coming out and basically showing some support and asking for what is needed for that kid, you know, for them and probably for the community. But the one thing I wanted to touch on is really what happened here. We all know that the family gave her permission to go out, to go ahead and party with this other person, and the person who was supposed to be hosting, the woman, indicated that she will be held responsible for the child while the child is in her care. And when the child went over to the other side, the venue was changed from where they were, which was supposed to be an Airbnb, to the Hyatt Regency Hotel. And after that, I think the woman who indicated that she was going to be held responsible lost track of where the children were, I think, to some degree. And that's why the mother there was simply saying that, I think later on somewhere in this story, she's going to be saying that the woman should be held accountable for her child's death, because she told them that she will be responsible for the children while the children are at that location that she indicated to them. Now, mind you that this is not the first time that their baby has actually gone out to do this sort of thing, and she came back safe, so they were not worried that, you know, any harm could actually happen to their baby. Now, here's the situation, guys. She goes over there, she has an argument, a heated argument with a juvenile boy, and the juvenile boy lost his shit, came back, put a gun to her head, and then I think shot her somewhere, and then she died because of the gunshot. Now, guys, we can sit down here and debate on what is the problem. We can sit down here and say that guns are the problem. But the truth of the matter is that guns are not really the problem. It's the people that are handling the guns that are the problem. I will continue to remain the problem. Guns cannot shoot themselves. They need somebody else on the other side. Now, one thing we have to always understand is this. When somebody holds a gun, there's always a need to use it. Okay? Think about the BB gun. Think about the water pistols you've carried. Many times when you see water pistol, you feel the need to load it up and shoot it. And many times, it also applies in that situation. Except, many times, when you're angry, you're not thinking. It's no different from me getting angry and going to my kitchen and getting a knife and stabbing somebody. Yeah, it is. But we have to understand what our society is nowadays, especially with our parenting skills on the decline. A lot of families have basically given, how do I say, outsourced their parenting rights to the government, asking the government to create laws, asking the government to do this, the government do that, enough is enough. Let us as a community recognize the importance of being parents, and it's our job to impact in our children the most important thing, which is learning how to traverse this ruthless world. A girl her size should not have a mouth on her to be able to go out there and then talk to any boy anyhow. She should look at men at her own age as people whom, when they lose control, are capable of killing her. She should learn how to navigate the world with her mouth together. And I can tell you one thing, truth be told, many of the ladies nowadays, in fact, they're not ladies, sorry, many of the little girls nowadays, they don't know how to talk. Okay, which will not put them in the lady category. Under normal circumstances in the past, a 16-year-old girl will be considered a lady, but she's not a lady. Okay, let's be frank here. Many of them are just people who don't know how to control their emotional behavior or their mouth. The same thing applies to many of the boys too nowadays, right? Especially those ones that are growing up in single-family homes and within an extended family. Okay. Many of the young boys nowadays are growing up with our fathers, with our men in the home, to check their attitude, to make sure that their behaviors are regulated properly. You know what I'm saying? Women no longer have a strong hold on a growing up boy, especially when he's almost getting to be a man at the age of 15, 16. It's out of the control of a woman. You understand what I'm saying? So single mothers need to learn how to recognize that at a certain age, a young boy needs his own fathers or men around him. This is the purpose of having an extended family around children. If there's no fathers, then there are also uncles, and there's also family friends that are men who are going to take this boy under their own wing and regulate his behavior. This situation wouldn't have happened if you had this kind of situation, if you had that kind of arrangement at all. It's quite unfortunate that you're going to be losing two lives here. The boy's life, in my personal opinion, is already condemned, because once he goes to jail, he's going to learn a lot of things that he shouldn't learn, and then he's going to be in and out of jail, whether he likes it or not, as a juvenile. It's very difficult for him to get his head above water in this situation, and she has lost her life barely before even she was really even begun living it. It's really a shame, guys. It's really disappointing to look at all of this situation. And I'm going to say this again. I don't care what anybody says, okay? A woman's words is as empty, is as hollow as an empty glass of water, okay? Their words are not things that you can hold them on. If it's a man that grew up around men, yes, they hold to their words are their bond. But women's words are not their bonds, okay? They use them as a means to an end. They are not like, oh, I'm going to say this and that's what I mean and I'm going to stand by it. No, there are people who say things just so that they can achieve something, and then that word means nothing anymore after that. Okay, so people, I'm going to advise people, please, it's time for us to up the game when it comes to parenting our children. It's very, very important that we start parenting our children a little bit more closely, so at least they can survive a little bit more and achieve their own dreams. Alright, guys, it's been real. Thank you very much for coming out to listen, and if you want to continue watching, then fine. I'll just play to the end and then that'll be it. Okay, alright guys, bye.
Pinky, as family calls her, was supposed to go to a chaperoned holiday party at an Airbnb, but they say they later realized another parent paid for their stay at the Hyatt Regency.
She was responsible for getting the hotel room for these minors. The hotel room was in her name, so I feel like she should be held accountable for my daughter's death as well.
Her mother says she...
Alright, that's gonna be it. Alright guys, cheers, bye.